Hello, on a previous video I showed how to export a DataView query results into a canvas, very specifically to export a list of books onto a canvas. And I wanted to be creating a more generic way to do that, such as, for instance, let's say I have this simple list here. It's a list of songs that I wrote and I want to export that to a canvas. I'll call it songs, confirm, and here I already had a file named like that, so it would either create or update the canvas. And then you see the nodes that output, and it outputs in a way in the center so that I can then from here say, oh, I want to group these two here, and I want to put a name, what have you, and I want to link that, right, and make my connections from there. So to make this work, I did try to create an Obsidian plugin. I failed at it, didn't have much time to explore how to make it actually work, so I created a little hacky way to do it by leveraging templates, and it gets the job done. It's all I need for this kind of functionality. So let me remove this and I'll show you how to get to that effect in a moment. Okay, so to get this working, you need to, or maybe you want to download two templates that I have. You get the link in the description here, but a link to my Obsidian resources repository on GitHub, and then you go to DataView to Canvas folder, download those two files. You can go here, hit download raw file, and you download this one and the second one. Download it to the templates folder in your vault, and I've already done that to my vault here. So say this note here has two queries because I wanted to show I personally prefer to use the DataView JS queries, but I know some folks prefer the, DataView query language, DQL, right, which has this kind of notation. So I've added those two queries here. They produce the same results, and I wanted to show how to add that behavior here. Right, so that's my query. Let's go on the first one. What we do is at the bottom of that query, I will invoke the templates and select the export. Right, so I select export DataView.js to canvas. Select that one. Disregard all this code that it generates, but it's what's necessary to create that behavior. Right. Make that here. You now see at the bottom of that that query, the results. You have the export to canvas, which I can click here and type songs. It can be the name of whatever name you want. Right now it's going to the root folder of your canvas, and then from there you can move someplace else. I did try to have a way to go and find a file in a note in your vault, but I couldn't get it to work, so I'm moving on. I don't have time for that just yet. But so that either creates or updates an existing file. So I have that songs file here. Notice how it puts the notes there. I can, as I showed before, maybe create a group of these two notes. I can link to a different note, maybe these here I want to change to a different color, right? Move them around, do things like that, right? And then later maybe I've added more nodes that would be met by that query. So let's say to simulate that, I'm going to remove these two nodes. Let's pretend they were not here before. If I rerun that query and I tell it to update the same file, what you see is that it keeps whatever I had before, and the new notes that it didn't find on the canvas, it just adds it to the bottom, so that from here I can say, oh yeah, this one goes up here, this one goes up here. And similarly, let me like remove everything from here and show you for the DQL. So if you're using it with this notation, what you want to do is add a few lines to the bottom here, and then invoke to apply the template, and you'll be using the export DataView DQL to canvas. Now notice it put some instructions here. This one is slightly different. Make sure to change the block to use DataView JS instead of DataView. So this guy here, DataView JS. And then second, paste your DataView query inside the tick marks below. So you're going to grab your query here, and you're going to put it in here. Doesn't matter if it has like extra spaces here or not, but it has to be within those tick marks. Now, when I view those results, it added. Notice, however, something that happens is it's no longer showing this released column. I couldn't get that to work either with the time that I have, so it's just showing the list of links, which should be fine for this, like exporting, and I'll tell it to export onto the same canvas. It could be a different one, doesn't matter, but you get the same behavior, right? Same thing. So like I'm gonna remove these two, I'm gonna group these here, move it down, maybe make some connections, right? And then I'll go back in and say, oh, let me run that again, because maybe I've added some more notes to the vault. Run it. Now notice the new ones to the bottom. So it's a little hacky way to do it, but it gets the job done, at least, you know, to run that query, get the notes that I want, put it on the canvas, and then take it from there. Hopefully that's helpful.